Welcome everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Aramopoulos, and these are my co-hosts. I'm Talia. And I'm Tech Luciano. You may have heard me on radio, you may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Cause y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle, under pressure that will break a foe. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
So you had this, you tried crack for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
It took a hold of you. You were on the streets, robbing, stealing, anything you could do to get money to buy more. You got locked up along the way. I'm pretty sure along the way too, you were doing questionable things. A lot of people that I know that were had that drug taking a hold of them, they would steal from family. You know what I mean? All these situations. When did you decide to give up drugs?
Because
What day was it that you just looked at yourself in the mirror and you're like, you know what, today's the last day?
especially that drug, that drug, because I know I was going, like, I'm not going up. I'm not, getting myself to be like I was or I want to be, because you're in jail and I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at guys like you who's straight up, like I want to be like him. I don't want to be like, like this cracking guy who, and I went to school. I have a family. I don't want to be like this, man. I'd rather fucking steal and look good or do drugs and look like a crackhead. So I go, nah, man, I cannot do this. I'm going to steal. I'm going to fucking steal money, and I'm going to be straight, though. And I'm fucking going to drop this shit. And if I'm stealing, I'm making money.
That's when you got hooked. That's when you connected with your finance guy also at the same time. The CJ at the university.
So if you can elaborate on that, like, what was this finance scam?
Oh, bro, listen.
Collaboration.
Yeah. It was so magical, man. So I went to school. I've learned printings. So he was a master. This guy was a master, bro. If he was white, we would be like billionaire, man. He used to go in and, wow. I go, shit, you're black, man. You go in there, we get money. Because at first, even though we had business, they're always searching, like calling cops on us. Like, fuck, man. But me, I go, shit. I wasn't capable to do what he was doing. But he's smart. Could go in there and
Did he have like dress up in a nice suit?
nice language. And
I would say he reminds me, when I saw that movie, I thought about that guy, which we're not going to say his name, by respect for him.
Yeah, of course.
But when I saw the movie Catch Me If You Can, that's exactly him.
Yo, this guy, dude, man.
Exactly him.
It's
not a junior of this guy.
White collar crime.
White collar crime.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
So that's why I've learned, because drugs, it was white people's drugs, man. Like fighting, if you go fight again, you're going in jail. Yeah. But I was watching JE, this French émission back then.
Investigation show.
JE. But all those white people used to make fraud every fucking week, making $300 fucking dollars, and they don't get arrested. And me, I'm fucking breaking an entry and I'm getting arrested. I go, what?
For Toshiba TV.
For fucking TV
and pause.
Imagine how heavy they were back then.
Exactly. For all you young folks watching this, these weren't the flat screen TVs. TVs back in the day, these shits were about at least 250 fucking pounds. All right? He's climbing down a balcony in the winter with a 300-pound fucking TV. This shit is not a game, folks.
And then you got to go back for the remote. That's when you get caught.
Yo,
that remote that's bigger than your head.
TV, man.
Look, white collar crime. Nobody's getting hurt.
Nobody's getting hurt.
It's big business that's getting affected.
That was big business. After the cops told me, man, don't do those shit. Me, I go, shit, okay. And my mind was open. Fuck, this guy showed me this. He was making money his own way. And I've learned some other way just to fuck the bank. Not to touch anybody's, money.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so fucking crazy. Making money, man. So, yo, otherwise I would be still junkie. We have to learn.
So that basically, that was one of the catalysts that basically allowed you to change your life, though.
Exactly, because making money, you don't meet the same people. You could go a little bit higher class,
100%, and then higher class connections.
Exactly.
More money ultimately, right? So
exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
And speaking of the book, out to defend ourselves. When did that come into play that you decided to write this book? When did you meet with Ted?
Okay, I'll explain that.
It's this guy.
So the whole thing started. I got approached by Ted Rothland about 5 years ago, and he wanted to talk to me about hip hop in the 80s and 90s, and also the racial tension and our place in society, culture wise, compared to the skinhead, the whole scenario that he was living. So I was living too. So I tried to explain to him to the best of my knowledge, because I was always book smart and a little bit savvy to bring those scenarios down for me. I can talk my way in and out. So I explained to him all those different things, but he was asking me about the gangs that were built in those times concerning that and how the gangs were built. So I told him, listen, I know a lot of gang members. I have friends. I live with a couple of them. I grew up with a couple of them. But all the detailed spec, you would have to talk to my friend Lazare, that was a street worker in Montreal North, and that knew the whole Maxime story, the whole Bélanger and Master B story. So he met him, give him the whole detailed breakdown as a social worker, and Ted Rollins as an intellectual also. So they started exchanging. But Ted wanted to go really deep. Yeah. So Lazare, my friend, told him get in contact with Maxime. And that's how he found Maxime, and they started chit-chatting about those racial tension, how gangs were built, that so on and so on, like the book say. And then he called him back. They met, talked for 4 hours, and I think he called you back and said, you know what, I want to know more. And that's how he started to write the book 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
ago.
So one thing lead to another. Yeah.
Okay. The way that book pretty much grew out of nothing, out of an initial meeting of the minds. That's
Ted came to my house. We talked for 2 hours.
I saw that he also has a few other books that he's written as well.
He has other books, and that book that he wanted to write with my stories and hip hop and gangs and all that. He's writing it now.
Okay, so there's another one on the way.
Yeah, he put it on. He put that one on hold and went and worked on Maxime's book. So he thought that it was more important to write that book, and at university.
I definitely look forward to reading the book, by the way.
Yeah, it's in English and in French.
Yeah,
it's in English and French. Yeah. We had to defend ourselves.
Yes.
And defend ourselves.
Yeah, just continue. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries, man. So, you know what I wanted to know too? Because I'm a bit of a history geek, and unfortunately, I don't really know, because Montreal history, especially if you want to call it street urban history, it's not really widely available like everything else. So I have questions. In terms of the gangs and stuff like that, now obviously it was racially based. You had your skinheads, you had your bikers, you had you guys, but was there beef amongst like the West Indian communities in terms of like, say, the Haitians and the Jamaicans, or what was there beef with that as well?
We were in the middle of all those beef.
Yeah,
Jamaicans.
Yeah.
First of all, because they're English and we're French.
Right.
Well, we used to step up like Saint Laurent. Yo, there's this guy Jumpy. Yo, you could go down and ask for Jumpy's family. Yeah. There was the craziest niggas. They would stab you for no shit. You go, they hear Creole? You're fucking Haitian. They'll stab you. They don't care for no fucking reason, just because you speak in Creole. So we had those Jamaicans, Italians. We were fighting though, you know. The Quebecois, they were fighting the English, the Italians, so Irish.
That's my people.
So we had everybody. Yeah. After a little while, I think they stabbed another Haitian in the Metro Man back then, just because he knows he was Haitian. Yeah. You're Haitian. It was like that. You couldn't. Back then, I was the one who knew how to speak English, and we could be 10, 11 guys. As soon as we step Saint Laurent, nobody speaks. Nobody speaks anymore. They just follow me. They always mean because they don't speak. So what are you going to say? Nothing. So I was the one who could speak and speak English, but the one...
There was a big racial fight in Montreal North on a couple of streets, Jubainville, Mat, Lapierre, and it was Italians. I think it started Italian against French-speaking people in the neighborhood, and then the Haitian team up with the Italians against the
Yo.
French, and it lasted like
You guys chose the right side.
Yeah.
You shouldn't say that on the podcast. I'm sorry.
But I heard it was so intense. It was hitting with shovels and hammers in the street for 1 or 2 days. I think.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, all those guys they were fighting for racism against French because French didn't like immigrants. They didn't
Still
not
don't.
only like niggers
Still
or
don't.
wops or whatever. This isn't like nobody.
They
That
didn't
wasn't
like nobody.
French.
They didn't like the Quebec.
It was kinda weird.
Italian.
I mean, it's still kind of like
It's
Pretty much
like that.
they don't show it that much.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's
less.
like corporate racism
less,
now.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's-
a lot. I was in a documentary because of all the situation in the 80s. That was in 91, and I was in a documentary of neo-Nazi, and they will explain that in the mid 90s, the same skins and races are now in 2000. There are more suit and tie people, so they could be lawyers. They could
So
be politicians.
they don't show it anymore.
They don't show it. They're in suit and tie.
Back
for
then,
real.
they
that guy
used to
Pelado.
show it. Like,
Pelado?
Isn't he
you
like
know?
a big?
You said it. I didn't say nothing. I don't have that good lawyer. You're talking about Pelado being.
No, I mean that's a well-known fact. To this day, like you're not allowed Videotron in or around my house, bro.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't support. Listen, I'm Anglo-Canadian. Sorry, guys. It is what it is, and I'm very proudly Anglo-Canadian. So yeah, there's no Pelado in my fucking house.
But I make that acknowledgement a couple of times for the last year. Now in Repentigny, they have a lot of racial profilings with the cops, right?
Listen, and
Let me finish real
sorry,
quick,
yeah.
just 1 second. So the thing is, in Repentigny, the cops are doing racial profiling incredibly, like it's bold, right?
They know
And
they
by
talk about it.
coincidence, the deputy of the area, guess who it is?
Let go.
And he's not
makes
saying
sense.
nothing about it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And he's saying, here's those law, here's the French, here's the this, here's the that. But the same policeman, and where he's a deputy as well, because he's a prime minister of Quebec, but the deputy of a county is in that same area.
Imagine what they're doing in Repentigny in 2023.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
us in 80.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, for sure, 100%.
But it's crazy how
Yo.
like what you guys went through was like a microcosm for what's going on like at large in society 40 years later.
Yeah,
know?
And
35 years. Yeah, 35. You know, the journalist at La Presse said that. She said the one who wrote the article on the book, and she told us when she came to the school, it's like, it's incredible. It's only 35 years ago. It's not like 100 years
Yeah.
ago. It's barely
Man,
30. It's a generation and a half,
Yeah.
and we don't even know, exchange, or talk about it that much. Kind
And
of
it's
weird.
crazy to see that. Yeah, it's been since the 80s. It's been roughly 40 something years,
Yeah.
and still pretty much the same thing.
Same
Nothing
thing,
changed.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, who's on the police force now? It's all these kids that have never seen a black face before because they live out in the boonies. And it was the same way back then when all these Haitian immigrants come to Montreal.
But
They've
that's-
never seen black before.
Yeah, but
So,
that's the
yeah.
problem with police forces, not only in Montreal, but everywhere, right? Is like you take these people that are not from the neighborhood and you put them in these neighborhoods and they're already nervous because this is something that
Yeah.
they've never experienced.
Yeah.
You should be trying to find policemen from those communities and putting them in those communities because, you know, back in, I mean, listen, I'm speaking, I don't know this from personal experience, but from things that I've read and things that I've heard, it's like back in the days, policemen used to be people from your community. Policemen used to be somebody that everybody knew, you know, like this is somebody that we all grew up with and he's a police officer. So you're going to have a built-in respect for that person. It's like police are not supposed to be, here's the perfect example. And this is a very famous meme. It's a meme of like, if policemen are really public servants and they're really here for our best interest, why is it that when you see a policeman get behind you on the road, your first reaction is fear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, come on.
And
True,
that kind of sums it all up right there.
Yeah.
That's the problem with policing.
I'm gonna tell you, I have a couple of friends that are police officers
Yeah.
now, and they try to go back into their neighborhood, but then again, when you get inside the good old boy club, like we always hear, after a couple of months or years working in the neighborhood that they come from, and they're proud. You know, I got a couple of my friends that are policemen play basketball in tournaments I did in Montreal North. They were happy, and then they get involved and they connected, and the kids that are in the street, they realize that, oh, this cop know my uncle, know my dad, know my aunt, know my sister. So they kind of, but then
take it
again,
easy.
when you go back to the police station, they hear all those comments, and you can't change the good old boy
Right.
club that
Because
easy.
it's
Yeah.
built
You
in.
could be 1, 2, 3, 4 guys out of the whole police station,
Yeah.
but there's 3 shifts. And there's a bunch of scenarios that you didn't hear that people are doing.
Yeah.
So that's what I heard from different cops. So it's so hard to change the whole thing, but there's a lot of effort put into it, but it's still a good old boy club.
It needs to change, though. That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
that is one of the major issues that we have in our society right now, and it needs to change. It's just I don't know. I don't have the answers, unfortunately, though. You know, I don't know anybody who does.
And you know, Maxime get arrested in the 80s. My first time get arrested or being in the back of a cop car is when La Danse à Ribourassa. We had a little fight. Everybody's running out of the park. So I get into it. And things add up after a while. But the thing is, my lawyer told me that it's like, at one point when you have no problem and all your condition and parole is done, go erase all your electronical file on you and erase them. And yesterday, by coincidence, I was helping somebody and he realized that you need to do that because when they arrest you and they just ask you your name, this is registered into a database. So when they stop people at Repentigny or in XYZ place or just asking for your name, it add up. Oh, he was on Pascal. Oh, he was on Saint Laurent at 3 o'clock. Oh, it adds up. So they get a profile of you without knowing what you're doing. So I always tell people, go at any central headquarters and ask them to erase all your data information, electronical data information, because they add up and they have this wall
Picture of like
where
where
they
you
have
go, what you do.
Okay, he's here. Like Ted showed me the list of gangs. It's like, no, this guy wasn't in that gang, and this guy wasn't even in Montreal when they create their diagram. It's like they're building stuff out of sometime thin air.
Oh, yeah.
Just like they create the gangs after me when like
And the blue and the red.
the blue and the red.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yo, we
Yeah.
never like create blue. My father had a soccer team. We were blue.
Yeah.
Montreal North was red, and that was it.
That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
That was
So it wasn't Crips and Bloods.
No.
Sorry, bro. There was no fucking no Crips, no blood. It was blue, 17 de Bélanger, Montreal North, red, Victoria. So
That's
the
it.
whole gang, Montreal North, is red. It's like
Yeah.
Canadien, Quebec.
It's red and blue.
Yeah.
Yo, we fight. We always when the team playing, you know, we're fighting. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Bleu, rouge.
men will be men.
Exactly. But there was no fucking
Gang related.
gang related.
No.
But after a while, I'm in jail, and they're arresting black people for no fucking reason, bro. And people coming in, yo, je suis parti de Bélanger, and they're all proud. I go, fuck, who's that? Yo, I'm in Bélanger. I don't know.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Yo, what's this guy?
I didn't prove his membership.
And you know those guys, they're fucking proud. And I was like, whoa. And I go, shit. And that's how it is. And a lot of, yeah, je suis dans le rouge. The fucking cops, bro. They'll arrest you. You're from the north.
You're
You're
red.
dans le rouge. Yeah.
You're blue.
And then obviously the media starts their little articles.
That's
and
it, bro.
off
That's
to the
it.
races.
And that's how it is, man.
That's
That's
crazy.
how it
and
is.
you know, I'm
That's
gonna
crazy.
go in deeper. Just
Yeah.
flash me on something, just to prove to you that it was all created from their exchange with university or psychologists or social psychologists. In the 80s, Bloods and Crips was only in LA.
Yeah.
Him, me, all of my friends, we were going to New York. In the 80s, there was no blood or red or Crips and Blood situation in New York at all.
Listen.
So we're in the
It was
East Coast of the
bro.
whole thing.
I'm sorry. I create Master B. There was no blood. Beauvoir made this gang for him
Wow.
because the white guys that he was fighting with. I go, yo, bro, call yourself Master. I gave him the name.
That's crazy.
Master B.
Wow. Bro.
And make those hoods like those white guys.
The Hells Angels.
You know, the hells are the
bikers.
skinheads
Yeah,
and blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
And when you call us, we go fight.
That's
and that's
crazy.
it. There's no red. This guy, I
It was
call him
only
Master B.
That's it. It wasn't
We're,
red and
we're
blue.
friends. There's no red, no blue, no nothing, man. The cops starting arresting people, arresting black people.
And creating catalogs.
Creating catalogs and
creating
creating
catalogs,
gangs.
but
man.
I also think there's a deeper agenda at play too, because I think that whether they did it on purpose or not, I think it was probably on purpose. That's the conspiratorial part of my brain. But it's like they're not dumb. They see what's going on in LA. They see what's going on in Chicago at this time, and they go, if we start putting it out in the media and putting it out everywhere and putting it in their minds that we're red and they're
I see
blue
what you're saying.
and this is not just a soccer thing anymore. Now
You're
this
gonna
is
kill
this
each
is
other
real
off
beef.
at that
Yeah,
point.
We're gonna start shooting at each other every time we see each other.
Yo, bro, that's it.
Right?
And they get high on TV,
Yeah.
watching videos. All you see, blood and gangs.
And
And
so
you want to be like
they're
this.
feeding the
and,
beast.
And there you go,
Exactly.
bro.
And as soon as you start mentioning gangs at play, you have to think that the police force is getting a bigger budget to tackle this issue, right?
Thank you.
So right there, that's money in
They
the
need crime to
pockets.
fight.
More donuts.
You know, if
More
you're,
money
if
to
you're a
fight the
fireman, you
crime.
need fires to put out, bro.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
They
So
give
right
the
there-
money, they're arresting people. And I'm telling you, man, I've been in jail, man. Like I remember I was like first like Haitian after William. Not a lot of us, man. Because I remember I used to help the gardien, the surgeon, because they didn't know how to speak English.
Yeah.
And they hated that, man. So I was like,
Creole
they
or
were,
English?
English.
Okay.
Parce que eux autres, ils étaient pas capables. Oh, you speak English? I go, yo, I speak 3 languages. I speak French, anglais, blah, blah, blah. Oh, ouais, tu vas à l'école. You know, back then, you go to jail. Stupid, like idiot people. Like now, people's are, you know, okay. But back then, man, it's like, oh, fuck. They didn't go to school. Anyways, so they used to create that, man. It wasn't us who create those shit, man. Gangs. So after that, who would want to be? And they created, and they were showing us like the les motards,
The bikers.
the bikers on TV. Who would want to be a biker? You go up, you don't have nothing. You would rather go steal and fucking be like whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Or you think you're gonna be dying and no money? You're gonna try and sell drugs.
Yeah.
Because they put the bikers and the mafia on a pedestal
100%.
compared to what they call gangs,
Gangs de
and they
rue,
put it that label on black people. But all of them are gangs, or they are just a gang of friends, or just. But the word gang was.
But I don't know. It was they
Kinda
were
weird.
they were okay. Those guys were okay. But
Yeah.
us, we was in no gang. We were getting arrested.
Yeah,
the beginning, yeah.
the mafia has that sexy allure, you know what I mean? You
sex-
Well, it's
Yeah.
been glorified since the beginning.
Exactly. You have that. The bikers, ragtag group of guys on Harleys,
Godfather
ripping through the
movies,
streets.
Scarface movies.
Then you got street gangs that are the bottom of the barrel.
The street- in the street.
Exactly, right? So
Shit's
Street
so-
gangs, who create the street
Yeah.
gangs? They create those fucking things. Like, I
all
remember-
those labels.
Street, who the fuck, man? We're in the street anyways.
and if
We
you,
grew up, we stay in the street. We when you were with friends, you could stay like from 8 to 11 on the streets, man, just talking and blah blah blah, drinking beer,
Yeah.
smoking weed. You know, that's it.
and I think what we've noticed like recently in the last decade, maybe more, is that the real power behind like every murder that you see happening, or people that get arrested for these hits, it's always the street gangs that are
Yeah.
committing the hits, right? They're the trigger guys. So when you
So
have
they say.
it's so they say it's because first of all, a lot of these mafiosos don't have the balls to actually do these hits themselves.
Well, hey.
It's
hey.
true though.
Let's
It's
not
true.
get
But they
ourselves
have the
killed in
money.
this.
They're
They
not
have
gonna-
the money.
They have the money.
So they're gonna go to Montreal North. They're gonna find
It's
somebody
not
for
the street
10.
gangs.
and then-
Listen,
exactly.
Before it was
Hitters.
they got basic. Back then, I remember they were like take the brick, put those white guys and put them in the
Cement shoes.
dans le fleuve. C'est eux autres là. C'est
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know, after they put a lot of black people in jail,
Mm-hmm.
you want to be like white guys. You want to have money.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to fucking kill too and get money.
Mm-hmm.
Why not, man? And you go to jail, they're telling you how long you do this. The crime, you're going to do 2 years. They teach you. I was sitting down and go, fuck, I could do this and get out in 2 years. I could have killed people,
Yeah.
you know, and get out in 7 years. I go, man, nah, man. I didn't want to be in that fucking lane. Because you're getting out anyways here. You don't do life.
Yeah.
You're killing people and you're getting out in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Three-
Canada.
three on good
Canada
behavior.
for you.
That sucks,
know?
man. Anybody could carry a gun and boom, 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 boom.
At the end of the day, it's like how would you feel with yourself doing that, right?
That's
Could
the
you
only
live
thing.
with it?
But some
Could you
people
live with
just
it?
live good with
Yeah.
it. You know, they go to work. Hi, honey, I just killed 2 guys.
Usually when people
Sociopaths.
usually when you hear about these people that it's business to them. It's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
right?
is. It
It's-
is. Just like this
that's
guy, Galan, that was 23 murder, and he used to go to work and bike. Yo, man, and his wife never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know,
That's wild. So
That's
look,
wild.
we talked about the 70s, we talked about the 80s. Let's get into the 90s a little bit. Let's so the crack epidemic at this point is hit, and now, as you had mentioned earlier, don't give me that look, Steve. No, but the crack it's a real thing, bro. It's a real thing. It changed
People's life,
society, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the crack epidemic is hit at this point, as you alluded to earlier. Your community now has moved from more consumption based to using it as an enterprise to gain capital. How did this affect the landscape of the gangland in Montreal? Because common sense would tell you that wherever there's a lot of money to be made, violence is inevitably going to come with it. So how what were the 90s kind of like for the gangs in Montreal?
But it was like the 90s was too many gangs now.
From what I heard, it was crazy.
It was crazy because everybody wanted to be a gang member.
Yeah.
Because gang, it's the
Well,
thing.
NWA is out now. Gangster rap
Well,
is,
the TV,
Yeah.
all you see is Gregory Woodley,
Yeah.
after Mambouche.
Yeah.
Fuck, you go to a bar, you don't see cops. You don't see people normal. You see gang, man, people with jackets. Yo, what's that? They're criminals, but they're more, what you call it? They're more, superstar than a doctor, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. So if this available, if
Put
this,
stars,
okay, I could be one of them.
Yeah.
Why they could and I can't? Why can they? And I could do the same shit.
Yeah.
So people get to their mind, man. People I didn't even expect could be in a gang turned to be in gangs, right? Like people that were behind me, they wasn't like this. And now I see them, I couldn't mess with them anymore.
The younger generation.
The younger generation,
Yeah.
they were like serious. Like, oh shit. And who was giving them guns? Not us. We don't. Yo, listen, we don't fucking own nothing.
Yeah.
We came in the country, white people, so we follow the road and the leaders.
No, it's true. Listen, there's whether it's a street gang or even the mafia, they're not manufacturing their own guns. They're coming from somewhere, right? Just like the cocaine's coming from somewhere. You're not making cocaine in a bathtub. You know what I'm saying? It's not meth.
Like I think, like you mentioned right now, the 90s was a tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
There you go.
Great word, Steve.
Tongue twisted.
It's all good.
It was a time that was really fucked up in the city. Which gangs do you think were the most violent at that point? That were really making CDP.
CDP. Because after him, because he was right next to me. And there's a lot of gangs, bro. There's smart gangs. There's some badass gangs, man, and you don't hear them. They're low profile.
Yeah.
They're still on. They're still doing their shit. They're not in showing off, but they do things.
Yeah.
But those guys, they were out there selling crack. So
Making
noise.
noise.
You're doing drugs, you gotta be violent.
Yeah.
They don't pay, you gotta be rough. But it was rough. But at that time, man, I was way,
Whole different
different world, man. I was making fucking money, drugs. Go, man, nah, man. So guys, if rather do fraud, don't go to drugs.
Yeah. By switching up the career path at that point, making that type of money, did you ever have a target on your back? Was anybody like gunning for you, trying to get that white collar money?
Nah, man. Either the striker, which we could used to call stealers, when you send them to the bank. What I like, I'm sorry for saying that. What I got me high off this is when I send, white people to the fucking bank and steal your fucking money.
You gonna steal my money though?
Yes, bro.
God damn it.
Sorry, man. I like that.
I
man.
need my money,
because they
bro.
used to fucking call us names, and I'm seeing this guy. I'm taking a junkie and take him to the bank and stealing $120 fucking dollars, and you're giving it to him. And me, I'm coming with a suit. You calling the cops?
Look, I know these type of situations, these type of collaborations that have to go down. Have you ever had a situation that one of these junkies fucked up he was there
Messed
at
up
the
the
counter, he
scenario.
fucked up the
This
scenario?
guy, he always messed up the scenario, but I told him no, but he should have. Because this guy one day, man, a junkie, man, he used to rob bikes, and we told him, we'll show you how to do this.
Take a shower, meet me tomorrow at 9 a.m. We're going to the bank.
We go to Village de Valère, get dressed, we buy a suit, $20, and the nigga, the white dude is fresh, man.
Let's go.
Yo, white dude, come up with a white person.
All right,
Here's
so
the money.
I'm in a suit.
Yeah, here's the money.
We're going to the bank.
come, smell good. Let me call the cops for you. But we went and we sent him to a bank. He got $120 something, bro.
1,000?
120,000 piastres.
Yeah.
And he calls me, he goes, Max, I have the money. What should I do? Take a taxi? I go, no, but I'm not that type of guy. I'm not that type of guy. Blah, blah, blah. But I should have. Because the friend that I have, this guy is a motherfucker. This guy, bro, he's gonna make $1 million. And he's fucking he won't want to give you $20 fucking dollars. I go, the guy went and take off $120 fucking dollars, and you make him paying for the $120 something dollars. Yeah, $1,000.
$1,000's important, brother.
It is, and you make him pay for the
taxi.
No, the taxi for the room, and he had problem paying him. Yo, man. Yeah, but that's the game I found, and I made my money out of it, man. It was, and back then we found so much things. It was easy, man. Like taking checks, erase them, put people's name, take out $100 at the casino, stay in front of the machine, pull out $50,000 credit cards from 500. We could fill them and put $50,000. And pull up $50,000 right here. We used to smell money.
I would have probably came just right there.
Yo, man, it was crazy, man.
So yeah, back then I'm assuming it must have been way easier to do stuff like that.
Yeah, bro.
It was because, first of all,
I don't know if you know what the landscape is nowadays, but what do you think?
Educate us, Steve.
Yeah, Steve knows. Steve got the update now. We don't. I don't.
No, man, I don't think. It's probably when you find something, it's not a lot of people who know, so you dig until.
Okay, so it's one of those situations.
Yeah, plus we don't need the podcast getting rated. We don't know nothing. Nobody knows anything. These are all stories.
So at this point, like you said, you got into the getting real money scenario, white collar crime. When did you decide to give everything up and become a good boy?
I always wanted to become a good boy, man, because that's not the life I wanted anyways. It went by, but in my head, I always wanted to go to school, even though I had problems. Always trying from jail. Either I go back to school when I don't have a job or try to get a job. I always try to go back to school, do something. So it was always on my mind. And when I had my first daughter, I go, fuck, man. It's like, now I'm not living for me anymore. So it's her. So I have to get rid of all those things, like they tell you have to change your circle.
100%.
Man. Yeah. So I started, man. Well, it wasn't easy. I remember the first time I was by myself. I never by myself. Never. The first time I looked around, I don't have nobody around me. I cried, man. I cried because
I wasn't used to that.
It was, no, man. Either if I wake up, I have 10 guys right next to me. Either you're going to do something for me or I live with people.
Yeah.
I grew up with people. Like the day I was like, shit, I cried, man. I was like, fuck, man. So that's when I started to change.
Because as you say that, I had a flash while reading the book. It's like his father always had a network around the restaurant, the soccer team, the soccer league, and then him by default, And don't forget in the era when his dad was here and my parents were here, like he's saying, it's a bunch of intellectual.
Yeah.
So you see conversation and intelligence, and then we got the new world. Yeah. They don't want to hear about the new world. They just want peace from the dictatorship. Yeah. But we want to discover the new world. But we always had those education, intellectual reference that one day we'll be straight. Me, same thing too. People look at me and like, oh, he talks proper. Well, it's built in me, even though I'm from the hood, and I think you guys know, But it's always in the back of our mind. So one day we're going to be straight. We're going to feel at peace because that's what we know. It's a reference. Our parents were in peace when they got here, and we saw what it looks.
I didn't see my parents with a gun and
you
go rob this guy.
They were intellectuals.
I hate that misconception too, though. It's like you hear a guy like you talking like a normal person, and it's like people are surprised. Like, what do you want him to do? Break dance? Like, I don't know. What the fuck?
You see, sometimes I defend some situation, or I go back to the barbershop in the hood and I blah blah blah, and guys from the street that's still in it, right? and they say, "Oh, Luigi," and we're talking about a subject and this and that, and they go, "Well, ask Luigi. He knows how to talk." But I have a funny sentiment about it, feeling about it, but I get what he's saying. It's not I'm trying to be somebody. He's one of us, but he can talk, develop a little bit more than us, you know. And we all have those little things, you know, in our friends that people are smart. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of smart people. I mean, it's just they took a route, and that's what it was proposed to them, or that's what they like. Ducam, that's what he had in mind, and some by default, or some that survival mode. They all I think it's a case by case, because his parents, my parents are not. There was no poor people. My mom came here in '71 with $60,000.
Yeah,
And
in '71.
That's a lot of money.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot of money in the 70s.
and listen, I had 2 kids avec la petite fille de Maurice Richard.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my 2 kids.
What?
My 2 kids.
we didn't know
My
about
2 kids, bro. My 2 kids.
That's crazy.
My 2 kids, my son and Maurice Richard. And this girl, I'm telling you, when she was young, and belle, Julie, man. But people used to go like, sale neg, plot un egg. I have kids with her.
That's crazy.
You know, I have kids.
They said that to her or to you?
To her.
Both.
Both.
Well,
Obviously both, but
Both
to her
of them.
too.
I mean, that's a brave thing to say
Both.
to Maurice.
Yeah, it is. My fault. My 2 kids, Justin puis Jade. Leur grand-grand-père, c'est Maurice Richard.
Wow, that's crazy.
La
My
mère, la
grandfather used to play hockey with him back in the Heights in the South.
Oh, yeah?
back in the
Oh,
day, yeah.
small world.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
I noticed something about him when he talks to me and talks about it. Because for a couple of years now, we're getting closer, right? I used to see him. He see me do rap shows. I see him doing his thing.
But he was my brother's friend.
Right, yeah, he's everybody's friend.
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I told him that about a couple of months ago. The girls that he had in his life are all straight, peaceful person. And I told him that's like they're school teachers or somewhat something.
Always is
And
cool.
I told him, I said, it's not a coincidence.
It's because they want the bad boys.
Well,
Yeah, but
they
I'm
want
not
the
a-
battle,
I'm
but
not
he's
a
looking
ba-
for peace and the
Me too.
intellectual stuff.
Yeah.
We want the history. They
Yeah.
want the history.
But by
That's it.
coincidence, I think he met those women.
By coincidence, man.
Yeah.
I always met people like
Teachers.
teachers. But around me, in my house, I always have teachers,
Yeah.
doctors.
Yeah.
It's all in a circle. We have those bad guys in back, but
Yeah.
c'est tous des professeurs, des médecins, blah, blah, blah. That's
It's the same thing you mentioned before about you want to change your circle. You can't be hanging around with murderers and thieves, and no, you want intellectuals that you can hold a conversation with. You can learn something from them. You can grow. You can evolve as a person. You know what I mean? Yeah.
At one point, I mean, you get those option of different routes. I think in my life, a lot of people say I live many life, and I think we all do. When you get to the next checkpoint, you got the choice. You keep going left, or you go right. And then the next checkpoint, okay, Luigi, you still got the left and the right. What you want to do? You want to keep going left or keep going left? Yeah. But at one point, you can take right and say, hey, I didn't know that route is different, and I keep on moving it regardless, you know. But we always have option in phases of our life. You know, like he said, he started fighting to defend, and then he had those Godfathers night that he had to laugh. It wasn't him. So next life, and then next life. You see what I'm saying?
And I seen people going in jail, man, and I didn't want to be like, crackhead or this. Yeah. I seen guys going in and go, shit, for 1,200 kilo cocaine? I want to be like you. No, I don't know why. Just you look good, and I just want to be like.
I think there's always that question that always comes back, like, if you could do things over again, would you do anything differently? Or do you think with the way you live life, you've learned so many things that you'd rather just keep it the way it is?
Listen, I've liked what I lived because I was suffering from fucking trying to get to work, man. So I could work my ass off and get money. That's the only thing I need. I wanted work and get money. You know, if I couldn't go to school, I had to go to work. If I can't go to work, man, what you want me to do? Steal, of course. I'm not ashamed of saying it, even though when I was stealing, I was never ashamed. My uncle, they know what I was doing. I was telling my family what I'm doing because I'm not killing people. I would never kill nobody. I would never rape nobody. Stealing this fucking paper 100 times, man. I would steal and steal the fucking money. you know.
You have principles.
Yes.
You have principles at
Yes.
least that.
I remember they fucked me up for that. I go, shit. T'as pas de remords? You don't have no regrets? I go, no. I'm stealing money. I'm stealing money.
Bail denied.
Yeah, go, oh, yeah, you're
Like the
stealing
guy in the
money.
movie with DiCaprio. Yeah, he was delusional.
Yeah, you mentioned a guy named Jumpy before.
Oh, man,
Jumpy.
yeah.
Jumpy, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys know Jumpy?
No, man, you
heard
could
about
heard.
No, there must be some other colorful characters from back in the day.
In the West?
Yeah, name one or two guys.
Where,
I know
Jumpy.
Prince. There was Prince.
What was this guy? This high. He had a high.
High
A
top.
high top. Yo, they were mean, man. Yo. we couldn't go to. Anyways, we used to go to clubs, Thunderdomes,
Bingo Palace.
Checkers.
You heard about those clubs?
Horoscope.
Before my time.
Horoscope. It was. Oh no, it was way low. Way,
Checkers was the first
Horoscope.
after party in Montreal.
Oh, yeah, that was the first afters.
Yeah, black owned.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, till 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but back then, black people, the only job they had, it was pimps.
Yeah.
Because all St. Catherine, they were having white people, white chicks behind them. That's the only way we could have money. You know, have 3 white girls and blah,
That's
blah.
actually interesting too, because a lot of people don't realize that too. Montreal was always a very big pimp city,
Yeah.
because of our
Yeah.
red light district. That's like not really a red light district anymore.
St. Catherine,
Yeah,
St.
Yo,
Catherine
bro.
Saint Laurent.
yeah.
you just go there, you pick up. Cops knows about it. It was legal.
Yeah.
After they know,
Yeah.
like, white, that's the only thing we could have. And it shows when black people have 5 white girls in a car. You know it's a pimp. Blah, blah, blah. So that's why they took off all those shit. And they put the Club de Danseuses.
Strip clubs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And white people was controlling everything.
Yeah.
Give you coke, you stay there. You're not taking everybody's money. And
We'll
when
take
you
care of it for you.
take care for you. And when we used to go there, they used to you're not allowed because we were in the street. So it's always a struggle, bro.
Yeah.
Struggle.
So yeah, you were saying about the guy with the kid and play haircut. What about
What's his name?
the kid and play?
He was mean, man. You don't know him. Oh, there was a lot of There was a lot of them, man. Jumpy. This guy. I remember his face, but I don't remember.
All right.
his
So
name.
how about the business phase, like the pawn shop? Because I know you had different pawn shop, and then as you were moving.
Well, I
or-
started, man, because I was tired of working with white people calling me names. You know, you started working. Oh, tu viens ici voler ma job. Well, get the fuck out of here, man. Either you fight with the guy or you leave. Because I couldn't stand it. Because it's like every day, you know, when a Quebecois start something, every fucking day, man. It's like,
never ending story.
never. Pow. Okay, I'm out. Either you fucking smash him or you leave.
Yeah, knew it. You open up a pawn shop. At the end of the day, you have people bringing you the jewelry and everything.
Well, I opened
So
it.
you're winning. You're still winning. White man,
you
bring
know
me your
why?
jewelry.
I'm winning because when I went, I was stealing, man, and selling TVs anyways. And I remember I beat up this guy because he didn't pay me. And when I went to court, I thought it was normal. I go, yeah, I'll lend the money. The judge goes, no, man, you have to open a store. Oh, I go, thank you. I didn't know. I thank you.
The judge told you that?
Yeah, the judge told me.
Yeah.
So I go, oh, shit, yeah. And I'm stealing TV. And fucking prêter de l'argent. I go, fuck, man, that's good. And now that's what saved me. Because I remember the first job I had, it was on Chabanel. 55 Chabanel, where was the fucking black people could have worked. That's how they used to hire us. And when I got there, you know, black, you know, I was trying to, you always trying to, like 50 Cent says, try hard or die.
Get rich or die
Get rich
trying.
or try. Yeah, exactly. So I was trying. But when I used to work there, I remember I bought a fucking old Mercedes from Jimmy, and they thought I had money. I didn't have no fucking money, but from them, I'm a little bit. And I was lending them money avec pourcentage. They were giving me money
With interest.
with interest.
Loan sharking right there.
Yo, bro, after 2 months, I made $10,000. Just they cashing their money, cashing their paychecks. And the thing I didn't know back then when I was doing this, I had a transit, man. You think they never told you back then? So je pouvais échanger mon argent. People thought I had money. It's the bank that was cashing people's money. And I didn't know, man. Tu pouvais. So that's why pull up. And when I beat up this guy and I went to court, the judge told me, yo, you're not allowed to do that. I go, well, yeah. Okay. He goes, I'm lending money. He goes, yeah. Vous faites un magasin? I go, oh, okay. So I went and opened a pawn shop.
So by beating up this guy,
yes,
it made you go legit.
Go to in front of the judge, and the judge was smart enough and tell me, yo, open up. You know, some of them tell you.
I mean, judges are human beings too.
They're human beings.
Sometimes they see something in somebody. Yeah, you know, like this guy's not a bad guy. He's in a bad predicament with the right direction. Maybe he could fucking do something.
See what you said? I remember, man, the first time I was judged by a black woman, I was so fucking proud, man. Yeah. I was proud that she elle m'a jugé.
She was the prosecutor.
No. She was the judge.
Oh, the judge.
She was the judge, man. She judged me and sent me in jail. But it's comme si it's like I got it more from her because I've never seen no black in a position like that. Yeah. It was always white people. And finally, a black woman judged me. Oh, thank you. And I said, that'll help me, man, not to fucking come back in the fucking jail. And the thing for you, yes, that's why I didn't never fucking want to go no more. I went to 2017, and this fucking guard, man, was a fucking fag, bro. A fucking fag, this motherfucker. What's his name? Fuck, I'll tell you. I was working in the kitchen, you know, so I was always trying to get busy, man. I'm in there doing nothing, sleeping. Go to work, man. I go to work, try to make money, hustle. And I had made $3,000 after 2 months anyway. Anyway, this guy, man, you go to work in the kitchen, they search you. You go in the kitchen and blah, blah, blah. After work, they search you. Like this fucking guy. No, not me. Yeah, no, you know he doesn't get the name. He's always searching. He's always searching. Yeah, but when he's searching, man, yo, the fucking dude grabbed my dick, man. Yo, I go around, tell people they're not gonna do nothing. And I was taking a course. I told the lady, she goes, I'll make a report. I go, if I make a report, they're gonna take me and transfer me to fucking way anywhere just to make you suffer. Yeah. But I go, shit, man, I have this guard, man. I go, tu vois, lui, il me pogne la graine. Tu me crois pas, hein? I go, shit, I'm gonna show you. The next day, I go, watch. I took a banana. I told him, the sergeant. I go, I put it there in my pants. I go, watch. And I told those guys, watch, this guy is gonna fucking grab my dick, man. And when I see the guard, I try to play smart and move so I could go to the next one. The next one he pushed me to the one that's gonna grab me. I go on the wall, blah, blah, blah. And he grabbed my dick, bro. He go, fuck, grab my fucking dick. I turn around, I go, fuck, what's his name? I forgot. I pull out the banana. I got you. Everybody laugh. He pulled me, man. He grabbed my dick still. That's why
he's getting that feel no matter what.
Yeah, that's why I go, man, I don't want to come back here anymore because you don't get respected anyways. It's my fault. Yeah. Not to be. That's why I didn't want to fucking go in there.
No, you're cattle at that point. You're in and out, you know what I mean? Yeah, this guy probably gets his jollies every time he grabs some dick.
He grabbed my fucking dick.
Maybe he wanted to know if the myth was true.
Yeah, but every day?
Yeah. Well,
every day?
Every fucking day, man.
So each your own, I guess. I'm not even going to do it. You know what? I want to steer the conversation in this direction real quick. I think it's important for you, having lived what you lived, being in the position that you're in now, especially, you know, having released the book about your life story, you know, with the rise of gang violence going on, especially in Montreal, all over the country, realistically all over the world at this point, but we'll keep it to Montreal. With the rise of gang violence going on right now, that is affecting your community. Is there anything you want to say about that, or you know, if you could talk to a younger you know, what would you say?
It's not if I could, I would do my best to let them know, like, you know, it's nothing doing what you're doing because jail don't pay. Jail don't fucking pay. I fuck up my life by doing jail, but I didn't have no fucking choice. It's like I wanted to. Those days, they have choices. They could do things. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like we don't have, we don't have the need or the help. I mean,
the resources.
Yeah.
That Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like us, even rapping or whatever, hustling, whatever. We didn't have many options, but we got creative with the minimum that we have. Them today, they have so many options, but they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can pick and choose whenever they want because they know they got options. We didn't have options.
No.
If you give me a mic and a stage, I'm doing my best because I need that $50, $100, or that record deal, or this and that. And him is the same thing. If I'm doing this deal, I'm doing this house, or I'm doing this check, I got to do it perfectly. That's the only thing I need it now.
Yeah.
With kids now, they don't.
It's like I think if you
They're not proactive.
Yeah, if you could offer advice, they wouldn't even take it at the end.
They
of the
wouldn't
day.
even take it, and they wouldn't even listen to you
Mhm.
because you're not in it anymore.
Exactly.
You're not in it. So who are you? I'm trying to talk to them. It's like, hey, and they look at you. It's not the same thing, and they're not gonna fight with you with the fists.
Yeah.
They're pulling guns.
They're pulling guns.
Maxim looking like Avon Barksdale over here.
No, but you know they're not.
The Wire. Avon Barksdale. You haven't seen The Wire? Watch The Wire, man.
They pull up the guns, man.
No, but that's what it is. Like I said, it's the day and age now that you're not in it anymore. They're not even they haven't struggled like you struggled to do it.
I think the struggle.
That's what
made
it
us
is. The struggle
get
makes a lot
creative.
of
And listen, and you don't see them.
yeah.
The internet.
But we were in the streets.
Technology, yeah.
A lot
We
of
were in
these-
the streets,
You
man.
outside.
You
Outside,
exactly. You
yeah.
used to see 10 guys. Oh, you know it's them.
Yeah.
You don't know who.
A lot of these
who you're
kids have it
dealing with.
good, man. A lot of these kids have it good, and they just want to jump into the deep side of the
I
pool
think
just so
today
they
it
can
is
look
a lot
cool.
more of a choice.
Yeah,
It's more of a
exactly.
choice because I mean, listen, you know,
Yeah.
my whole life, and I said this on, I can't remember what episode it was, but you know, the whole like gangster rap or like even the movies and stuff like that, it influenced me too, to the point where like even at 35, where I'm a father of two, I'm a civilian. I'm a civilian guy.
Yeah.
I'm a civilian. I still don't smile in pictures because it's not cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
You're formatted like that.
Yeah.
it literally has this brainwashing effect, and it's whether you want to call it an agenda from the top down, which I think it is, by the way. There's a reason why a certain type of hip hop is pushed more than another type of hip hop. This is facts, but you know, I think that the youth now have really been brainwashed, because I know I was. So I can only imagine somebody growing up in circumstances similar to yours, how much more it would brainwash them, right? Like, so I don't know, man. It's just there needs to be an awakening, I think, at some point, because
100%.
I've been around with him in different because he was panelists and guest speakers at different universities and colleges, Vanier and the University of Montreal. I think he's going to Ottawa in about a week or two
Nice.
at the Gigi's.
Nice.
So the thing is, what we notice when I go is those kids have questioned like they lived it, or they have a deep
understanding.
inquiry about it. But when I tell kids in my surrounding, the other generation under me, or even my generation in the 40s and 50s, they're like nonchalant about this book. It's like in the States, you try to see how this guy transit from being who he was 40 years ago and now writing a book about it and moving about his life. But here, nobody's curious about it.
Yeah, because here people don't talk about it, man. We're the first one
This
talking
is the first
about
book
it.
in Canada.
You know,
about
we're trying to
gangs in
talk
Canada.
about it. Like it was. I'm not saying I'm trying to be popular. I don't give a
Glorify
shit.
it,
Glorify
whatever,
no
yeah.
fight. I was fighting myself for fucking people like, you know, calling whoever Dominican, blah blah blah. You know, people that were racism, and that's it. We never used to go to a white guy for nothing, and
Punch
nah,
them
man.
or whatever.
Ugh. You know, we make our own way. Try to fucking live just like, you know, learn. That's why we used to learn and walk and learn the streets. So from Bélanger, bro, we could walk to Westmount. That's why we used to get arrested. When we go there, what are you doing?
Westmount, of course.
What do you think we're doing? We're just walking
Who the fuck are
around.
these guys?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're
100%.
just walking around, découvrir the fucking
discover the town, the city.
Nah, man, nah, you don't leave here. Get in the car. Fuck, get arrested.
Same way.
You'll get arrested.
Same thing if you go to TMR.
You'll get arrested.
So it's that time of the day that we gotta pick up that gem over there. Grab it, Tech.
He's got longer arms than me, bro.
All right,
Yeah.
Max,
Sorry.
grab that gem over there.
Okay.
This is what we do at the end of the show. Right now, you've been dropping gems the whole show, but you gotta leave the viewers with one ultimate gem.
Oh yeah.
Could be for the youngsters out
Knowledge
there.
or something.
Something.
Or
Wisdom.
or
Wisdom, piece of wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm hoping is for those young generation, behind me, you know, to be a better generation. Don't do stuff that I've done. Go to jail is nothing because it's wasting time and wasting career, wasting your fucking life. Go to school or go to work. That's it.
Or start a business.
Yes.
And keep a banana in your pants.
Thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of the Hustle Podcast. We out. And don't forget to cop the book, Out to Defend
Hold it up,
Ourselves.
hold it up.
Il est en français.
En français.
In English also.
In English
In
also.
English also.
Il fallait se défendre. How to defend
Or
ourselves.
they can come at the store also, at the store.
Come to, where's the store? Where can the people come to the store?
88, 71 Hochelaga.
Perfect.
71.
With
Thank you,
Luigi.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of Hustle Podcast.
Yes, sir.
We're done.
Thank you, guys.
Excellent.
Welcome, everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Aramopoulos, and these are my co-hosts. I'm Talia. And I'm Tech Luciano. You may have heard me on radio. You may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is